Alrighty, good evening. It's been a long day, but I am going to work on two shadow boxes. They're going to be similar. I found some smaller simulated chicken wire at Hobby Lobby, and I was going to try to use that on the backs of these because they're so little, and this makes them much smaller. It just looks, you know, has more detail to it when it's smaller. So I'm going to try to put a couple pieces across the back for the backs of these ones. They're going to be similar to the one that I already did, but these two, they're for something else. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So let's get started. Okay, these cut pretty easy. From one side to the other is about the same cut spot, so I can just do a staple on each one of these. It shouldn't be too painful to get them put in. I might have to go get another pair of pliers that'll cut this a little bit better, but this worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. And then these little pieces, I'm just bending over towards the center because the staple's holding. Whoops, there's that one. I didn't get that one stapled because the staple's holding each one. So that actually worked out much easier than I thought it was going to. So I think one more across the back. We can just kind of center it because we got to be able to reach these and hang those. Okay. The bigger one, I was able to get 3 across. I kind of overlapped a little bit, and 2 on the smaller one. But I would definitely recommend using this. It's thinner. It's easier to cut. So if you're doing any projects with anything, that I got in the floral section of Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to paint. I'm going to put some white paint on here to dull this down. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to run paint across there. So it looks like kind of the Shabby Chic look, maybe. Alright, let that dry a few minutes, and I'm going to put some paint on my birdhouses. Alrighty, I think they're dry enough, but we could do some painting on them. Oops, I should have sanded that down, but oh yeah. Let's see if I can just I have no idea what designs we're going to do on this, but this is the color palette that I chose. So, of course, the greens will be any leafy area, and I always like to mix up the colors with another color, so it's not just one color. And I thought if I just dab, I don't know if you're, oops, I'm not in the film. If you're able to see that, I'm just dabbing and making my flower. And I'll do it over here. Give it a little bit more room. Actually, I'm doing it backwards. Oh, shame on me. So there's another bigger flower. Put three little dots up at the top. Okay. We'll just continue to make some more purple flowers. I know it's going backwards, but that's all right. Let's stick that in there. I'm not a perfectionist. Never will be. I just go with the flow. So there's some purple flowers. Now we're gonna run some green around and vine it. And I'll use the same paintbrush. And I will mix the dark and the light. Let's see. My dog's growling again. It never ends. Oops, you're not able to see what I'm doing here. I'm just doing some swirlies and going towards the flowers. That's all I'm mainly focusing on. And they're not pretty. But when it's all done, it seems to come together and look good. All right, so there's your little purple, a little green, a little violet. Now I'm gonna take the end, which I did last time and I never washed off the end of my, and I'm just gonna dip. I'm gonna dip the end of my brush in this yellow paint and try to get a lot on there. Because I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna dab in the center. I'm going to put the center of the flowers. Oops, that's not very big. There we go. And you can get as much or as little paint as you want. Or if you want to do little tiny dots, do a bunch of them. I just like to do one big one. And like I said, I am not a perfectionist. I just get it in there and all right, now let's work on some leaves. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna mix. They're two greens, so when it gets put on there, some will be a little light, some will be a little dark. And I'm just going to dab, dab. That's all I'm doing. I'm just dabbing. Very, very simple. Two right there. I'll do one under the flower to kind of make a touch. Same with this one. Just kind of make it touch the flower. And if you look at leaves, leaves are not perfect. Leaves get damaged in the wind. So there's no such thing as perfect. Nothing is perfect. Okay, I think that'll work there. And we'll come around the side. Do the same thing. We're gonna add a leaf right under the flower so it's touching the flower. Another one there. And you can use a smaller brush. This is the one that's in there. I really didn't pull any other small brushes out. Just using what's available without me having to go rooting and digging. Let's see, I'm trying to get it in there. And there's our leaves. We have some leaves. Leaves and flowers. And from a distance, that'll look perfect because once it gets buried in between some moss, some flowers, other flowers. So that's what the birdhouses are going to look like, and I'm going to do another one similar. So far, this is what they're going to look like in the boxes. I don't have anything glued yet. Okay, I'm grunging these up a little bit with some ink instead of paint. It's easier just to use a little bit of the ink than it is to deal with getting any brown paint out, wiping it on. So it seems to be working out pretty good. I kind of like that. It just grunges it up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do with both of them. Just going to rub this on. Rub it on that. And it just kind of gives it a worn look. Maybe a weathered look. And we could actually go up the corner of the side here too, just to give it some grunginess. I like that look. I like that look. Even go across the top. That looks good. All right, we'll just do that. Go across the top. Kind of go up and down the edges. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. So that's another thing you can use your ink for, is grunging up your projects. Nothing wrong with that. I'm waiting for the glue gun. Okay, I think we got enough heat on the glue gun. I'm centering that and putting it on that one. And then the taller one will go in the bigger one. Oops, let me back out. I wasn't backed out. I'm so sorry. All right, I don't want to just sit these in there flat. I want to angle them. So if I can angle it in there, that's what I'm going to do. Of course, I'm going to run out of glue right in the center of squeezing that. And then we'll put it at an angle. I mean, it is touching this wall here, but it's kind of angled inwards, like that. And we'll do the same with this one. Actually, maybe do this one angled the opposite way. So we'll put it on this side. All right, now I wanna add some greenery in here. I did pick this stuff up. It's called reindeer moss. I got that at the Dollar Tree. I've used this before. It's like, it's spongy. It's different. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the glue in there. And that's a little bit hot. There's some little stuff. I don't know how it would, well, you know what? Let's get some up here by the doorway. Oh, that piece didn't stick, but the other piece did. Okay. That should be enough for right this second. I did dig into my stuff, and I did find some pretty little yellow ones, and they're much smaller than the birds I used on the last project. All right, that's it. Little one is done. It's ready for its new place. Now the second one, we'll do similar. We have a little bit more room to work. Let's see if we have let's see what kind of, I don't need that. Let's see if we have another big piece. I got little pieces, but that's all right. Glue some of that in there. Of course, my glue stick needs to be replenished. How about we put some on the corner here of this moss. Get all the strings out of it. There's a decent amount. And then let's cut some of this. See, that piece is missing a whole top piece on that one too, so I moved it over onto there. And then we'll stick some glue there. Now, I wasn't going to use any rocks in this, but I am going to glue purple and white. Let's take that one off. We don't need all that extra. Okay. Boy, we got the strings going on now. Piece of this. It's one nice thing, you can hide anything with the moss. Okay. All right, now we want to put the flower or the bird up here. Let's see. He's a cute little bird. I don't know. I'm gonna stick him. Let's just do the same thing. I'm gonna take his little legs out. Well, maybe we'll. I can't leave that little leg in there because then you're gonna. It just draws your attention. I'll take his little leg out. Maybe I can glue him right there on that little pedestal. Let's see if I get the glue to spread. And then we'll put a little bit of moss under him to hide the glue. And it works. It worked. So there's that one. And this is a matching set. This is cute. Turned out really pretty. So I hope this gives you ideas to do your own little shadow box with some Dollar Tree pieces. That's all this was. I did buy the birds. It was at a different time, but I needed little birds, so I used them. But the purple and the yellow, I love it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.